we have Andre and his sister and his niece. Okay. Andre tells them about the two women that they will be meeting, Cynthia and Jeffrey. Cynthia enters the scene first, and the sisters get right into it and ask Cynthia, like, how old are you? Like, Andre don't got no kids. Like, how many kids do you have? So since he don't got no kids, like, are you willing to have more kids? And Cynthia's like, I'll give him 2 kids and a dog, nothing more. I can't do nothing else for him. And the reason that I have the dog is because if he's interested in a third child, that's why the dog is there. So let's go ahead and dive into Cynthia and Andre. And you know what? Let's just get right into hold on. Then Jeffrey enters the scene and says, seeing Cynthia definitely threw her for a loop. She was not expecting to see her there. The sister jumps right into it with Jeffrey and says, 31 with 3 kids, huh? The sister said, well, you're more of a liability than you are an asset, right? She said, so what do you bring to the table to a man with no kids? Jeffrey responds, well, I'm everything that a man could want. And his sister pretty much kind of looks over like, okay. So Cynthia begins to say, well, I have 2 masters, I have 2 bachelors, I have 2 businesses. And by the way, my kids are good. My kid's not looking for a father because Andre would not be the father. Like, he would be the bonus dad. Jeffrey says that she does feel very indifferently, or she definitely feels judged. Jeffrey says that she should turn and look at her brother, because why, out of all the women with no children, he still chose me, the one with woman, to come and meet him. When the women leave, the niece says that she likes Cynthia. The sister says it's too much of a baggage. If I had to choose, I would pick Cynthia, but in real life, I don't want to pick none of them. None of them, honey. That was a lot for the notes. Thank you guys for being patient with my notes, but this was a really big scene, and I wanted to be as thorough as I could with the notes. And go.
Yeah, I'll say this for the Cynthia, it was typical Cynthia, come in there, great demeanor, really knows how to talk to people and communicate herself or articulate who she is as a person. That part I love. Um, and then pretty much saying, look, we're secure over here. Like, it ain't like we trying to get him the pit. We ain't trying to, pinch his pockets. That was cool. What I didn't like, though, was I didn't like what they did to Jeffrey, because I can tell that when Jeffrey came in the room and, they kind of dove all over her. I get it. 31, 3 kids. It looks like a different story. It looks like a crazy story from the outside if you're thinking about it from a family member's perspective, right? But then Jeffrey said something when she started to explain to her, and she said, I'm everything that a man could want. I believe that whole slot was taken out of context because it just cut. There was no follow up. There was nothing that led to it. It just seemed like a one liner. And so I don't think, I really don't get the feeling that Jeffrey feels like she's, the prize, and that she's the only one out here.
Get my phone, Leo.
I don't get that from her. I don't. I see a little bit. I see there's a little bit more humble pie in there. Like, folks,
do you?
Like, yeah, because
there was nothing humble about it. Out of all these women, your brother's choosing me. That's not a humble statement, sir.
That can be, but that can be some. That can be something that expresses that I'm confident. Like, you don't know me like how he knows me. So, he's here for that reason. You understand what I'm saying? So,
Kia, can I just say this? Can I say this? I have 3 children. I did not have 3 children at 21, but at 40, I have 3 children. Right. I had these 2 of the 3 in within a very long-term marriage. Okay. When I'm dating, I understand the fact that some people may look at this like baggage. I understand that some people may look at it like a liability. The difference between Cynthia and Jeffri is that Cynthia is further in her career and in her like stability from what we can see than what Jeffri is. Cynthia stated she's not looking for a stepdad. I like a bonus. I'm not looking for a stepdad. Whatever you can add to the pot, great. Whatever season you can add into this gumbo, that's great. But we're not expecting you to be the pot, the gumbo, the seasoning, the meat. We're not expecting all that. So I think that when Jeffri entered, she had favor. When Jeffri exited, she did not, because of the conversation that was had. And that is that conversation, because when Jeffri entered, the sister Camila, which I know we can say that Camila was rude, whatever, but she was doing what a sister is supposed to do. Sisters are very protective of their brothers, especially baby sisters, because I think like what I heard was that she was the younger sister, right? So you hold your older brother up to a different degree. And remember, this is your Forbes brother, right? So she's looking at it from a different angle, right? Mm-hmm. So when Cynthia entered with -10. They were like, oh, hey, what's up? When Jeffri entered, this was like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Hey. Ugh. So Jeffri entered with a +10. Cynthia entered with a -10. Cynthia left with a +20.
That's right. And so let me just do this. I just want to give Jeffri a little bit of credit in terms of, I just don't believe that someone going she seems like she has good common sense. And so I don't believe that someone going to meet others' families are going to come with everything that, that every man wants. That seems just so left field. Like, I would never do that. If I sat down and they like, yeah, well, why should you be with her? Because, oh man, you know what? I'm God's gift out here. Like, that just doesn't even sound right in this kind of theory.
That's what Jeffri said. Now, to your defense, to Andre's defense, he did say, this is the calm before the storm, because my sister can be like mad aggressive. Like, my sister is very protective. He let us know that his sister can go in. However, what Jeffri lacked today, like the exact opposite of what you're saying, is humble pie. Like, she was not, she told us when she walked in, she wasn't expecting Cynthia. She was expecting this to be a home run. She was expecting like something easy. And like, when you're already, if you handle adversity as your brother, why am I the one? Clearly I'm the prize. That is not humility, P.O. That's not it. That's not it. Having accountability, being realistic means, hey, listen, I know I'm coming here with 3 kids, right? My kids have fathers. It's not the best situation. Jeffri has expressed it's not the best relationship with her children's fathers. However, you are looking for a mate for you. You're looking for an addition, somebody that can add to your children's lives, right? You're not looking for a father to your children, because if we, like Jeffri stated, that's my biblical husband. So if we're going to go to biblical, we know that our children leave their mothers and cling to their wives. So at some point, all of our kids are going to leave us. So when we're as mothers, when we're out here, especially when we're in our 30s and 40s, and we're looking for our partners, we shouldn't be looking for fathers. We shouldn't be, if we're dating, we should already have our kids, have our lives in a system. Because if we don't have our system together and you're looking for a father for your kids, you're right. That's a liability. You know what I mean? I'm in a place where I want to find someone that can be here for me, because at some point my kids are going to leave me, and I want them to live their best lives. I want a partner that can add to their lives, but does not make their lives, right?
Yeah, but I didn't
That is
hear her say that she was
that
looking
is
for a
why
father.
mothers like me, that's why single moms, you know, who have multiple kids, we get a bad rap because of that perception that we're always looking for a father for our kids. No. And Cynthia was right to distinguish between, I'm not looking for a father for my kids. Now, he's bonus, yes. I'm looking for a partner. And I think that that's something that Jeffri needs to lose whatever guilt she has, that she's carrying around behind whatever her relationships with her dad, with her children's fathers are. She needs to understand, and she needs to accept the fact that she does deserve someone who's there and supportive of her, period.
I mean, I look at it this way. There's a two-sided thing to this. When you go and talk to somebody's family, you should feel and you should be proud of who you are and what you represent, as long as, obviously, you're not on the street, smoking dope or something crazy like that. But, in general, you should exude self-esteem, things of that nature. Um, like I said, if I'm going off of what I saw on TV, yeah, absolutely, I would be appalled, watching that. I don't think that happened like that. And then ultimately, I feel like, this was just one of those moments, an eyebrow raising moment for the show. And they created that to give us this sort of conflict. I'd like to see how this plays out, though, because there's going to be another side to that when it comes to meeting her family or their family. So I'm going to reserve, further commentary on that, until I see, how this plays out on the other side.
Real quick.